In our modern world, we have access to unprecedented technologies, whether that be social media, video streaming platforms, or even online news articles. The dissemination of information and ideas has never been easier. Unfortunately, the ease of use of these technologies has had negative effects on both our personal relationships and mental health. Firstly, social media platforms have allowed people to form online relationships through the power of the internet. While this is seemingly a net positive, what is often lost in the convenience of these relationships is actually spending quality time together. In fact, the number of teens who physically got together with their friends dropped by more than 40% from 2000 to 2015. While this is not to say that the time spent with friends online is a bad thing to do, there is, however, a certain level of fakeness to these types of online relationships. Due to social media's demand to share one's life, it results in a lack of importance to real-world interactions, which erodes our ability to have genuine reactions to real events and situations. What this means is that because we are so focused on presenting a perfect version of ourselves over social media, we can't use the same platforms to genuinely be ourselves. Because of this, social media platforms can actually be toxic to one's own mental health. Because social media has resulted in superficiality and contriviality in relationships, it's not really a stretch to realize that teens and young adults alike may find themselves alienated from society. Moreover, because teens use social media to document their daily lives, it increases feelings of isolation and loneliness in people that are not included. In fact, 48% more girls said they often felt left out in 2015 than in 2010. This toxic storm of alienation and loneliness often leads to poor mental health. Unfortunately, this is exactly what the research shows. Teen depression and suicide are actually on the rise. Teens who spend 3 hours a day or more on electronic devices are 35% more likely to have a risk factor for suicide, such as making a suicide plan. While this is not to say that social media and technology use is the lone source of teen depression, it is highly likely that it is at least a contributing factor. Teens who spend more time than average on on-screen activities are more likely to be unhappy, and those who spend more time than average on non-screen activities are more likely to be happy. What this means is that there is a correlation between unhappiness and electronics usage. While one could argue that social media and other such platforms are simply the way of the future, the way in which we are currently using them creates undue stress and anxiety in the most vulnerable members of our society. To combat these effects of excessive technology use, we need to further the discussion about the effects mentioned in this video. Talking down to people and blaming them for their own habits will never work. Rather, we as a society should look towards education. We need to inform those around us so that they can start making the personal choice to moderate their own electronics usage. Thus, start a conversation with your friends and family. Have an honest conversation with them and ask them what they really want out of their relationships, and take the time to really understand how social media use is affecting yourself and the people around you. While we don't have to totally get rid of social media, we need to start using it more responsibly and to seek further depth and spontaneity of our relationships. We need to ensure that we are using these technologies and not them using us.